Hey guys, I'm Morgan Evans and we're playing Story Time. Story about a memorable after party. I feel like I've had bad luck with after parties that I've tried to go to. Like I feel like they're always just so busy and maybe I don't know that many people there. And that's happened to me in Sydney, it's happened to me in Melbourne, it's happened to me in LA and Nashville and New York. But the last one I went to that I really enjoyed was at the Grammys this year, and we didn't go to an after party. We went back to our hotel lobby and we ate food and had a couple of drinks, and then the party came to us. And not because we were there, it just happened in the lobby. And so a lot of our friends came, guys from Dan and Shay came, and a bunch of the Warner Nashville folks that we work with, and a whole bunch of other singer-songwriters showed up, and it ended up being the best after party I've ever been to. So I think the lesson is to, I don't know, just go to the hotel lobby and hope for the best. On-stage mistakes are a pretty regular occurrence for me. I do a live looping show, so, you know, I never drink before I play because it gets really difficult really quickly, but every now and then you hit the wrong button at the wrong time and it all goes wrong. But I remember we'd flown a lot one week, like coast to coast in the States, and we ended up just outside San Diego, and I played banjo on one song, and I was playing the thing and did this ridiculous solo thing which always makes me laugh, and as I was taking it off to give to Keith, who looks after all my guitars, the back had obviously shaken loose on the plane. So as I took the banjo off, the back fell down and all the wires hang out, and yeah, the crowd just lost their mind. We rocked so hard that the banjo fell apart. First show I ever played was at my high school music night. We called them Mad Nights at high school. It was music, art, drama, and dance. And I think I was 13 years old, and my brother was 11. We forced him to learn the bass guitar because we didn't know anyone else that knew how to play bass. And we played an original song called Life, because we knew a lot about that at the age of 13. And we also covered the Grinspoon song Just Ace, because I remember that was the fastest thing I could play on guitar at the time. And I loved it. I was hooked from that moment. I miss flights all the time. I feel like the airlines in the US don't really care about being on time, or even if the planes leave, so you miss them all the time. But the worst one was actually here. I was leaving Australia on a Sunday trying to get to York, Pennsylvania to play a show. Or maybe I was leaving on a Saturday. Either way, whatever, the flight was just cancelled. And it's not like there's a flight every hour to the States. So it was cancelled. It was the last flight of the day, and I didn't get out until the next day. And I had to cancel the show, and I've never cancelled a show before, so that's a real bummer. I'm not going to name the airline because there's only a handful, and I'll probably end up on it again. So I never owned a suit in my life while I lived in Australia, but when I started going to award shows in America, they all thought I should dress up a lot more. So I think the last time I wore a tux was probably actually the first time I ever wore a tux. It was to the CMA Awards, and I think it was last year, and it was actually pretty cool. You do feel good in a suit, and yeah, I feel like I've been missing out on that. The best day of my life? I mean, you have to say the wedding day is the best day of your life, right? Which is funny because I feel like my wife and I, the day after our wedding, we were having dinner and we're like, everyone says the wedding day is the best day of your life, right? But today's the best day. So maybe the day after our wedding, that might have been the best day. First album I ever bought, the Savage Garden album. I was obsessed with it. I remember thinking the coolest thing I'd ever done in my life at that point was learn all the words to the verses of I Want You. You know, the Chicka Cherry Cool, like that part. Yeah, still dig it.